Welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie. Yes, this is kind of a movie sequel to the original Disney Channel series that ran, I don't know how many seasons, but stars Selena Gomez. You know who she is. And this is just a family full of wizards. Well, mom's not a wizard or a witch. Dad used to be a wizard, but because he married a mortal woman, he lost his magical powers. But the kids, they've got their share of magic. It's just that they need wands in order to better control them or make them more powerful. Well, Selena Gomez plays Alex, and she's Alex Russo. Russo is the name? Yeah, Russo. Alex Russo. And she's kind of a brat. She's always getting herself into trouble. Mom and Dad say, hey, no, you can't go to that party. We're going on vacation, but don't you go to that party with your friend. She finds a way to get, to turn her house into a subway train to take it all the way to Brooklyn. But sometimes because she's doesn't have things too under control and she's little undisciplined, things get out of control pretty easily, and that leads to chaos and comedy. But in this case, I just told you mainly the first few minutes of the film and summarize what this is for the most part. But this is, it's sort of like one of those classic TV sitcoms like The Brady Bunch or other shows like that from back in my day, that there would be a special episode of that series where they'd all go to Hawaii, like when Peter got cursed by the tiki or whatever. There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on when you make a very special adventure episode. The cast goes to Disneyland, maybe, in random other shows, or, like I said, Hawaii. In this case, they go to the Caribbean, not a Disney resort, weirdly enough, which seems like it would have been an easy tie-in to go, hey, let's go to Hawaii like everybody else does and visit Aulani. No, they didn't do that. Parents were hoping to go on vacation by themselves, and the kids, of course, screwed that up, and they brought the whole family with them. So all three kids, brothers Max and Justin, and Max is played by Jake Austin, and Justin is played by David Henry. And three kids are miserable being in the Caribbean with their parents. So yeah, I don't get it either. But yeah, cute boy distractions or just messing with magicians on the walkways seem to be a way to entertain themselves while they're there. I'm not going to tell you the entire movie, but I have to tell you what the hook is for all this. Since Alex, played by Selena Gomez, tends to be just a brat. She does. She's probably, if she, and I'm talking like an old man now, but if she applied herself, she'd probably be a pretty powerful wizard or witch or whatever they call it. But she's more selfish, and she's kind of looking out for herself. And even though she kind of deserves the things, the punishment she gets for the trouble she gets into, she blames it on others. And I'm sure there's been introspection throughout the years on the TV series of where she kind of corrects herself and tries to do better. But, you got to keep that sameness to the show, so she never fully learns the lesson. In this movie, we get, it's an act from 2009. Good grief, she's like 16 in this thing, according to the character anyway. It's an hour and 35 minutes long, and she makes a wish after stealing a forbidden spell book from her dad, and also Dad's special wand, which also seems to have a lot of buttons on it for a wand. I don't know. It's more titanium than it is wood or anything else. It's not Harry Potter-ish. It looks like a titanium stick. So anyway, I'm talking like a guy who does not know this stuff, and that is who I am. So she makes, with a combination of the two, she makes a wish that we've heard kids make many times before, and what we do is we get one of these be careful what you ask for type of stories. She wishes that they had never met because, well, the place that they're at in the Caribbean where they're on vacation is the place where Mom and Dad met, and they're determined to make it be meaningful, but Alex keeps messing things up, keeps getting into trouble, and just, I don't know, she just keeps pushing back. And she wishes that they never met. And of course, immediately, Mom and Dad forget who anybody is. They're singles, ready to mingle out on the beach, out in, where people go get drinks and the pool and all this other stuff. They're just being single, not parents. They don't remember their kids. The kids, however, in order to make this less difficult, all remember each other, and they're still alive. They didn't get immediately erased from reality when Mom and Dad never met. So, and they don't find it strange that they're in the Caribbean, by the way. Like, I don't have kids, but are they reverting to their younger selves mentally? As if they never had kids, but with a much older bodies? Because they've got like an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old and like a 12-year-old or something, 13, I don't know. But yeah, it's almost 20 years later. So, in any case, Mom and Dad, the whole point of the episode is to get Mom and Dad back together before they disappear eventually from reality. And along the way, they run into a magician on the boardwalk. I don't know exactly where what they would call the area where they met him. But they meet a magician who is got a parrot on his shoulder, just doing bad magic. And Max, of course, decides to mess with them. And he reveals a very special secret that could be important to them. So, and that happens earlier than her wish coming true. So it's a big quest. It's a treasure hunt kind of thing at one point, and it's for Justin and Alex. But for Max, he's got to try to keep his parents from hooking up with some other people, which seems like the thing that every 13-year-old wants to do, is to micromanage their parents' love lives. So yeah, that's fun. Good for Max. So yeah, what we get along the way is some kind of Disney Channel value digital effects. They're not blowing a big budget on this. You're going to get what you're going to get, and that's all right. It's still more than the budget I imagine any episode of the regular series ever had. They throw in a couple covers of pop tunes from the Cars, and I can't remember the other name of the band, but oh, it's magic, better believe it's not so, something like that song. But then, yeah, also Magic by the Cars at the very beginning. So they spend the money on getting covers of those songs and some special effects that have not aged well, but again, it's a television show. And they also, the other big change from the series is the fact there's no laugh track because it is a movie. And it does look better than than the TV series ever did. I kind of revisited the first 2 episodes real quick before I came to record this, just to make sure I remembered it correctly, that they did have a laugh track, because most Disney Channel shows have a laugh track. So I didn't want to make that claim and then have it found out later that I got it all wrong. So yeah, this is... You got to be a fan of the show to really get something out of it. And you would have wanted to watch the series before you ever got around to watching this, or you might be just a tad confused about this. You're going to find aspects of other wizardy type of things. The fact that this even exists is probably due to the fact that at some point somebody said, hey, the Harry Potter thing's popular. Let's see if we can do a show with a popular girl as the lead, and we'll just do a sitcom with magic. And there you go. Wizards of Waverly Place. Basically, that's the street address that they live on. They're just a normal suburban family, and yeah, they just get into wacky adventures. In this one, it's life or death, literally, for the kids, and possibly, well, the parents may never come back together again. Do you think it'll happen? You know how it's going to end. So, if you had no idea what any of this is about, or what anything I've said, and have never heard of the Waverly Place show or movie or anything else, you know how it's going to end because it's a Disney thing, and it's okay. It's okay. This is basically the only thing that it really it shifts tonally a lot. A lot of it's just Alex being a brat and making snarky asides, her and her brother Justin cutting each other, not like physically, but like verbally cutting each other down, just getting on each other's nerves. Max doing crazy little young teen guy things because he can. He's got magic and he's obnoxious. And then Dad and Mom being embarrassing. But it gets more serious as the quest goes on. We see the bond between brother and sister and how strong it is, despite the way they treat each other. And then we also see toward the end, fully, I mean, it gets really dramatic in a set piece that totally pulls you away from all their normal clothes kind of things. Suddenly they're in like wizard battle outfits that, I don't know, look like they were taken from Hunger Games or Divergent or something. I don't know. But yeah, they're not in flowing robes or anything, but there's a little comedy through that sequence, but it's meant to be a battle to build up the third act to really drive home the desperation, the lengths they'll go to in order to save their lives and save their family. So yeah, if obviously, I don't have to tell anybody that watches this series and loves the series to say, oh, you know what, maybe you should check out the movie. Yeah, you've already done that. That's a given. But if you like Selena Gomez, and honestly, how can you not? She's cute as a button. But she's on a Hulu show with Steve Martin and Martin Short, so you can watch that too. But if you want to see her work as a kid, and she does have some really good comedic timing. Her delivery of a lot of lines, she's much better than she should be at her age. And I think I might have said that in my previous video. I don't recall. But yeah, she's a pretty girl, but she's also got a good head on her just to be able to deliver lines the way she does that are just goofy and silly. But yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, there's no surprise that she's as popular as she is, that she's as talented as she is. So yeah, check it out if you get a chance, if it's your kind of thing. But again, I would suggest you watch the series, at least some of it, because this kind of deals with some things that I think have been building through this series for a time, because they're not full-on wizards as kids, but they reach for the ability to be the family wizard in each generation. And since Dad doesn't have that role, it comes down to the kids at some point. Will it be the brother who's very ambitious, or will it be Alex who will just sort of half-ass her way through it and then sort of maybe apply herself at the last second to get it right? Which one will it be? Who is it more important to? Either way, can they save their family in the end? That's what it's all about. So I have spoiled so much of the structure of the story for you, but yeah, odds are if you were going to watch it, you've already seen it. And I really doubt that my review here, spending 15 minutes talking about it, is going to make you go, oh my gosh, I think that's something that I need to see. Because it's not a show or a movie that was ever made for me. I am not its target audience. So most of the stuff that's not made for me, I can only go, okay, this isn't complete garbage. There's these redeeming qualities, whether it's the acting, the effects, or the story, the writing. And yeah, it's I've seen a lot of horrible stuff on Disney Plus, and this isn't one of them. So yeah, so I think you get a kick out of it, especially if you're already a fan. So check it out. I picked up the tablet to pick tomorrow's episode, but I already know what it's going to be, because I picked it specifically because it'll be Thursday, and while it's the not the official date of release. This is the day that most people will be seeing the movie on Thursday. The sequel to the sequel, Deadpool and Wolverine, comes out tomorrow. Officially. Unofficially. So I'm going to watch Deadpool 2. That's the only one we haven't watched through this series before. I've already done a review on Deadpool. I don't know how long ago. But Deadpool 2, let's watch that. Just to prepare ourselves for Deadpool and Wolverine. So, Deadpool 2 is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.